What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Side Tangent. It's your boy Jared.
Hey, I'm Parker, and the man next to me, well, he said that his name is Jared. What I actually call him is El Presidente because he's the family Crunchyroll account owner. Thank you.
Were you the one that's been logging in?
Yeah.
Okay, so it tells me
actually,
unknown location for logging in.
it's probably mine. I live deep in the mountains, so it's probably me.
Oh, that's why it says unknown location. Because I was like, I assumed it was you because you've been watching Spy Family. Speaking of anime, before we jump into what we really want to talk about today, I have to make an apology because I made a bold claim at the beginning of last year, around April, almost a year ago, that a certain anime was going to win Anime of the Year. It wasn't even nominated. To Be Hero X, I said on this podcast, I'll put the video in, To Be Hero X will win Anime of the Year, and it wasn't even nominated. Granted, I understand the politics behind any kind of award show. But do you know what anime did win?
I don't actually.
It was the last season of My Hero Academia.
Oh.
It beat out Gachi Akata. That's it. Okay, I can't remember the rest. I can't remember Dandadan. And I'm just drawing a blank on the but last season of My Hero Academia. So congrats to My Hero Academia.
Hey, they had
yeah. Great series. Personally, when I was reading the manga, I thought the ending dragged out quite a bit, but when you actually animate it, it all kind of condenses into one. It was really good. My personal opinion, I thought All for One coming back at the end. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen it. Well, it's been out for almost a year now, so I think it's
yeah.
If you haven't seen it at this point, I'm sorry. Like you should have watched it. I'll put a spoiler alert in the video just to let people know. But I think All for One coming back at the end was just kind of ridiculous. It should have been Shigaraki at the end. That's okay though. Still won. Still great. Give it its applause. Parker, how you been, man?
I've been good. I have been overwhelmed with a sense of guilt because many years ago, you and I shared our locations with each other, and then you stopped sharing your location, and I've been sharing my location to you this entire time.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And I'm scared to turn it off because then you'll get a notification Parker stopped sharing, and you'll be like, what the heck? So
I've never checked if that makes you feel any better.
I just thought now would be a good time.
You know what's funny? There's times when we're about to film that I'm like, I wonder how far away Parker is. That I don't want to ask because you're driving, but I could have just checked.
You could have checked every time.
Well, you can stop. You don't have to share your
I
location with me.
now,
Hey,
now,
you're a grown
now
man.
I feel even more guilty.
The little bird has left its nest. I trust you. I think you're okay to be on your own.
These are the things I obsess over.
Just make sure you come home on time and
that you
check in. Yeah, well, fix that. Anyways, Parker, we talked before this. There's a very specific thing we want to talk about today.
A big Utah story.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, we are based here in Utah. I say based like we're a company. And there's this particular scandal going on about the most random thing possible. So for those who don't know, there's a company called Bricks and Minifigs who is under a lot of controversy right now. And the story has gone very viral thanks to a YouTuber named Reckless Ben. So I wanted to kind of jump into the story. We're going to go through the timeline. And then you guys get to just hear our thoughts on it.
And if memory serves me right, isn't the store in question like pretty close to where we are now?
Yeah. It's so. Let's jump right into it, shall we? So for those who don't know, check out Reckless Ben's video. He has a whole hour and a half long cover of it. So we're just kind of relaying the information that we found on the internet. So I'm going to be reading off of a Reddit thread where someone kind of broke down everything that's happened. Some of the details may be skewed. So take that with a grain of salt. Let's dive right in. So our story starts in the town of Kaiser, Oregon. So we said Utah. It's actually Kaiser, Oregon. Right. A man named Brian Mansell and his son made a deal. Well, so Brian Mansell and his family, they were kind of short on cash. They approached the Kaiser, Oregon bricks and minifig store, owned by. I probably should have.
What are you looking at?
I'm trying to find the name of the people. Anyways, they were owned by a franchisee owner.
Is it Johnson and Brandon at the bottom?
No, that's going to come up later.
Okay.
So we'll say her name is Sarah.
Okay.
Sarah and her family own bricks and minifigs. Brian Mansell's family comes up. They're a little low on cash. They have a $200,000 Lego Star Wars collection they decide to consign with this Bricks and Minifig location. I looked it up. Consign is kind of like pawning, where they're pretty much saying that, hey, if you sell this collection for us, we will keep most of the money, and then you get a percentage of it. And so ownership of that collection still remains with the Mansell family. And the Bricks and Minifigs are just saying that we'll sell it for you, we'll take a percentage of it, and we'll go about our merry day.
Makes sense.
Problem is, the Sarah and her family, who own the Brick and Minifigs, decided to look into selling their franchise. Bricks and Minifigs corporate comes in, takes the franchise away from them, and then puts in, what were those names that you saw earlier?
Johnson and Brandon.
Yeah, Joshua Johnson and Brandon Best, who are from American Fork, Utah, which is close to where we are right now.
Alliterative.
Yeah. Oh, that just sounds like it's fake. It just sounds like it's like a case study for business law students. The new corporate puts in these two as the new franchise owners. They claim that the consigning agreement is not part of Bricks and Minifigs policy, and so they don't honor it, and so they pretty much lose the Mansell family's $200,000 collection. The Mansell family tries to fight back. These two and Bricks and Minifigs pretty much tell them that if you try anything, we'll take legal action, and they pretty much threaten the Mansell family. In enters Reckless Ben, who is the YouTuber that the Mansell family reached out to, and they're pretty much saying that, hey, these guys won't give us our Legos back. They were only able to find a couple $1,000s worth of the Legos
out of like, what was it,
$200,000.
That's insane.
And then the previous owner, Sarah, we'll say her name is, says that they never tried to sell the franchise, that the corporate came in and illegally took the franchise away from it. So it's a whole mess, and they're trying to sue each other. The Mansell family and Sarah are being threatened by corporate and Josh Johnson and Brandon Best.
So Bricks and Minifigures are suing these two people.
Yeah.
Bam.
They're pretty much threatening to do that.
Okay.
In enters the YouTuber Reckless Ben.
Okay.
He pretty much helps the Mansell family. They start a GoFundMe. A couple cease and desist letters come in. Sorry, let me scroll down a little bit. We'll cut part of this part out while I'm trying to think.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, reading the Reddit threads, this one ensues is a bunch of back and forth. You have my set /money, and no Bricks and Minifigs call the Mansell family and in no uncertain words threaten him, stating that the cost of taking them to court over this would be prohibitively expensive and more than he'd ever have made off the sets, and that they intend to drag the case out if he tries. The previous owners later confirmed that they said the exact same thing to the two of them, which is why they are currently crowdfunding the legal costs to take them to court. So Reckless Ben has pretty much started a GoFundMe to pay for the legal costs to actually take this to court. Bricks and Minifigs is saying that, hey, if you try to take this to court, it's going to cost way more than you would ever made on the Lego sets. After more nonsense with Mansell and Ben getting trespassed. Wait.
What does that mean? So was Reckless Ben trespassing?
Yeah, so they were trying to sue Bricks and Minifigs. That was a detail they left out here on this article. But pretty much, Reckless Ben was trying to serve papers to Bricks and Minifigs and then the two new franchise owners. After more nonsense with Mansell and Ben getting trespassed, they finally take Bricks and Minifigs to a small claims court for the $200,000, and then they win. So Reckless Ben and the Mansell family try to go to the Kaiser, Oregon location where this all started. They win the small claims court. Store's closed, shut down completely. The franchisees are nowhere to be found, and so they have to collect their money. Reckless Ben decides to sue them again. It's like they owe them money. They lost a lawsuit. The thing is, when you're serving papers, you got to do it in person somehow. So Reckless Ben, so it says here, now privately suing them requires that they may be served with papers in person. This has been proven to be immensely difficult, in no small part because somehow Johnson and Best have the Utah police in their pockets, and they have made it their mission to screw with the Mansell and Ben as much as possible. Some of these gems include a traffic stop alleging that they had heroin in the car. After a 2-hour search turns up nothing, they then switch tack and start saying that they've got dilated pupils. They finally give up after trying to force a false confession for ages, but not before issuing a thinly veiled threat. Multiple unfounded traffic stops during which the police officer immediately addressed Ben in the backseat of the car by his name, even though there was zero reason to do so. So that one's crazy. I didn't realize
That's
that.
Really crazy.
So a bunch of traffic stops, several police call-outs while trying to serve papers to Best, where the cops just keep coming back even though they have already confirmed the case is real and they aren't breaking any laws. Finally, Ben gets arrested on some bogus charges for putting a sign up advertising a GoFundMe to crowdfund legal costs since all else has failed, and the police interrogate him, then decide to book him in the jail for a month. A judge decides to release him because the whole situation is ridiculous, but with the police on his keeping it family friendly, folks, any indiscretion could get him locked up. So he fled to Mexico for the time being. I haven't fact checked that part, but pretty much Reckless Ben is trying to serve papers to sue them again. In other articles, it says that Johnson and Best were suing him or sent some cease and desist saying that he was stalking them. At one point, there was, I don't know the details of this part, though. There was a rubber duck involved, like a way to, they started dressing up as delivery guys, all these things to serve these papers to no avail. So as far as I understand, these papers still have not been served. In come Brick and Minifigs Corporate, and this is as of a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
They decide to threaten to countersue Reckless Ben, the Mansell family, and then the previous franchisee owners, pretty much saying that I think there's a defamation involved. They're saying things like they have no legal standing, and that they're pretty much the Bricks and Minifigs are the ones that are the victims here. So that starts. This story is getting out of hand. It goes viral. This is how we eventually find out about it. It was happening right in our backyard. The reason why I first learned about this, one of my friends from Arizona reached out to me. Shout out Mario. He's like, "Have you heard this story?" And then he just said, "Legos, corrupt police, lawsuits, the whole shebang." It starts getting viral. So as of May 31st, Bricks and Minifigs CEO goes on a Lego podcast, which I didn't know existed. And it was like the company multiple. Lego has like a podcast or something. Oh. He gets on there. He issues a formal apology and a statement pretty much saying that they're going to pay the Mansell family back. That was as of May 31st.
Oh, so they admit they're wrong and we're all good.
Well, so as of right now, no money has been sent to the Mansell family. So the story is still developing. No mediation has actually been set. I don't know where Reckless Ben is at this time. But that is pretty much the breakdown of this entire story. And there's just a lot of opinions about what's true and what's not. Crazy story. Before I jump into my opinions of it, I'm just like, what started off as just a small, I don't know how big Kaiser, Oregon is, but it's a random location in Oregon. What started as a small, just, hey, consignment agreement, turned it into this viral case that ended up into another state at one point. What are your first initial thoughts on this whole thing?
I'm just shocked because I feel like, and this is how it always goes, if the corporation was just honest and agreed to pay back, that would have saved everyone so much time and money.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's no way that stealing $200,000 is worth, for a corporation, is worth all of this drama.
I agree. Now, I don't know the financial situation of Bricks and Minifigs. I don't know how big of a...
But it can't be worth it.
It can't.
The negative.
The publicity, the public backlash of this. I'm like, there's no way that this is... Especially because I don't think they have a lot of... there's not a lot of proprietary... Or what's the word I'm looking for? I think that's the word. Where there's not, they're not very unique in what they do. Mm. They probably just have the franchises to back it up, but especially with Lego losing, I don't know if you knew that Lego doesn't have their patent on Legos anymore. I did
hear about that.
And so there's a lot of knockoff Lego brands, and I just feel like there's a lot of these things that could be copied from, especially Bricks and Minifigs, where it's just I don't think they have a lot of it's not like going up against an Amazon or something where they have such a chokehold on the industry. So it's just to sacrifice that much public opinion and publicity for $200,000 just does not seem worth it. I feel like it's going to cost them a lot more because of this whole debacle. I think it also speaks to the age that we live in, where people word gets out. It's insane. The most random person could say a racial slur in a video, and people, based off of the video alone, find that person, find where they work, and just all these different things. It's insane to me that a corporation like Bricks and Minifigs would risk all that for $200,000, even if they had every legal right to do so, which I don't know the ins and outs of the consignment agreement and what's actually Bricks and Minifiz's legal policy. It just seems like a lot to ultimately, I think they'll ultimately lose in the end, because like the average man isn't going to care about the consignment policies of Bricks and Minifigs.
I also feel like, cause I think, especially nowadays, I think people are looking for a chance to fight for the underdog, and especially are suspicious of corporations.
Yes.
Like I even in the article you're showing, they kept calling Bricks and Minifigure like corp and stuff like that. And I feel like there's a lot of rebellious passion. So
Yep.
giving people a reason to paint a target on your back right now is such a just give them back the money. Why do you have to steal that?
Yeah. And here's another story that's kind of developing. It's unrelated to this, but speaking about corporations, it's just kind of interesting, the duality of man, I guess you could say. So this one I haven't done as much research, so there's a lot of fact checking that may need to take place after this. You know the brand Patagonia?
Uh-huh.
So a developing story right now. There's a famous drag queen that she goes by Patagonia, and Patagonia supposedly started selling merch that was pretty much a knockoff of Patagonia's logo, but with more like drag queen-esque designs in it. I don't have any of them. Like, so I've seen a couple pictures where it just look like Patagonia's logo, but it says Patagonia. And so Patagonia pretty much filed a cease and desist, or like a lawsuit, asking her to not change Patagonia, but to stop selling that merch. And the lawsuit was only for $1. They're pretty much saying just stop using it. It's kind of turned into this weird debate on the internet. There's a lot of details of the story I don't really know, but where a lot of people are saying like, I can't believe they're taking Patagonia's side, not Patagonia's side.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people at first thought that Patagonia was suing Patagonia for her name, Patagonia. They are suing because of the merch. And I haven't read the official lawsuit yet, but a lot of people on the internet are like, I can't believe I'm actually taking the side of a corporate right now, of a corporation right now. And I don't know, it's just interesting, just like what you're saying, where like a lot of people are anti-corporate, but I do think like I don't want to call it mob mentality, but it's interesting to see. You see the internet, you see a lot of like in the first Bricks and Minifig story, you see how unreasonable people can be and how like delusional they can be. But then you also see like people like logically thinking on the other side of this other story. I don't know what my point is in saying that, but I just find it very fascinating.
I will say I feel like Patagonia, compared to a lot of other corporations, I feel like they've earned a lot of public trust because they do a lot of like charities and are really about being like eco-friendly and stuff. So like they do have a reputation. I feel like a lot of corporations, I guess it's all about like, what are you willing to risk your reputation on? And
yeah, it's super fascinating. I don't know, I don't know, nuance is the word of the year for me. Like I feel like I've been using that word so much, where it's just like I don't know how to. Things are just not black and white. It's not. Yeah. It's everything's so gray, and so I don't know. So back to the Bricks and Minifigs thing. Bricks and Minifigs, what the heck?
Yeah.
Like I just think it just does not seem worth it to me to risk $200,000 for all the backlash that I doubt.
Well, clearly they agreed because the owner said we'll pay it back.
Yeah.
But then they saw like that's even worse, saying you will and then you won't.
Yeah.
Unless he doesn't have the money. I don't know. Maybe that's. But like at that point, then if you don't have the money, you can't afford the legal fees either. So
right. And so yeah. So that statement came out, I believe, May 31st. So for those watching, I don't know when this episode's actually going to start airing. We're filming it on June 5th. So between May 31st and then whenever you're watching this, there might be a new update.
We can tack something on if we need
yeah.
to.
But it's just funny too, because it's like there's another instance where it's just like the Mansell family is just like, it's like the collection was like a very important part of their life, and they just hit some hard times. Brian Mansell, the guy that originally did the consignment, I guess it was his dad's collection that he was consigning, and it was like his dad's like almost like a prized possession, like like it is thing. And it's just like, sometimes hard times hit. I don't know what their specific situation was, but I understand like it's hard to when times hit and like hard times hit, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. And so the fact that a corporation would really like go to this length to just like the everyday person, like you know, these are people that we're talking about. It's just kind of sad. There's another story. This happened a couple years ago. I believe it was Luke Bryan. He's a country singer, and he has like, you know, he has his marketing. He has his team. You know, his staff and everything. I guess there was this lady that was just kind of making knockoff Luke Bryan. I think it was like candles, like the ones that you see in like churches, like Catholic churches and stuff like that. Like, I don't know, like
a joke kind of thing.
Yeah, but it had like Luke Bryan on it. Luke Bryan's staff has like an automated process where they find people who are making like knockoff brand things. But the lady, she only made like a couple $1,000s off of it, and she wasn't like selling an insane amount, but it was just like an automated process that caught her and then automatically sued her for the stuff. Now the story has a happy ending because Luke Bryan, like, obviously he gets a lot of public backlash. Luke Bryan comes back and he says like, "Hey guys, like, this is just like an automated process. Like, this isn't it. The way we have this set up isn't for small people, like the little people. Like, it's for like companies that take advantage of our brand and things like that." So he gave all the money back, and I think he paid more on top of it.
Oh,
so
that's
really cool
a good response.
It's like it does people no good to take out the little man, like, you know, the everyday person. You know, we're all just, the majority of us in the world are not going to take down a corporation. So it's like when people like Bricks and Minifigs decide to come after this one family, it's like, for what? This also restores my faith in the power of people. Like, you know, we have the power to do something. Now, I'm not going to say what I think you should use that power for. This might be the most politically charged episode we've ever done. We usually try to avoid this stuff.
Oh,
but
well,
the story
I mean,
was too juicy because
oh geez, we're talking down on greedy corporations.
That's true.
I think there's few people that would listen to podcasts and our podcast in general that wouldn't be like, yeah, I don't like.
We should just next episode just go the complete opposite and just like start supporting like a monarchy or something, or like not a monarchy. A
I'm really into totalitarianism and trickle down economics.
I believe we should follow the economic system that goats follow. But yeah, no, I'm not sure what lesson to pull from this because I don't even use Legos myself. It's just the story was just too.
Oh my gosh.
The story is so ridiculous. It got to the point where like a judge released Reckless Ben because of how ridiculous it is.
He's in Mexico right now?
That's what the Reddit post says. I don't know if that's true or not. You gotta take everything with a grain of salt with Reddit. I don't even know if everything I said was. I read a couple articles. Most of what I said seems to be a common thread. I know at one point I think there was like Reckless Ben got swatted. Which, for those who don't know what that means, when like someone calls the SWAT team on you because they say that you're doing something that you're not actually doing. I think there's a picture of him actually getting arrested. The heroin thing, like getting pulled over on heroin suspicion, which is like, I don't know how you can suspect someone's on heroin while they're in a car. To be fair, I also don't know what it looks like when someone's on heroin. So maybe there's signs. I mean, I'm just trying to give the.
You know what? It's funny. I was in like a medical class and we had a whole thing about it, and I don't remember any of the things. Is that one? I don't know. I'm not going to reveal how little I know.
Yeah, we're hitting a side tangent right now because now I'm just talking about how little I know about hard drugs. I was watching. We watched all of Breaking Bad like about a year and a half ago. Top 5 show of all time, and that's not a hot take. Everyone knows that. It's like it's one of the few shows that actually has. I think it has a couple. Oh no, it had the highest rated episode on IMDb for the longest time. Here's another funny story. This is something I just learned. Shout out Baylor, good friend Baylor good friend of the show. He's telling us that there was like Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones beef about the highest rated episode. Breaking Bad had this episode. Can't remember the name of it. Highest rated episode of all time. I think it was the only 10 out of 10 episode on IMDb. That's crazy. Until Game of Thrones dropped their episode. I don't remember which one also. And so it also was going to be a 10 out of 10 until the Breaking Bad community said, heck no, this can't be like Breaking Bad. They review bombed it. The Breaking Bad fandom mistakenly thought that they were a bigger fan base than Game of Thrones. which you gotta think fantasy, like, well, you gotta think how big the Lord of the Rings franchise is, and like the fantasy realm, you know, Game of Thrones also was a book before a show, and so like it already had like the book fans. And so, anyways, long story short, Game of Thrones fans were like, heck no, and started review bombing the Breaking Bad episode, and then they just became this. They're not 10 out of 10 anymore technically, but I think if you look it up, the Breaking Bad episode is still number one, even though it's like a 9.6, and there's technically ones higher. I don't know how they calculate which ones are like review bombing, which ones aren't. Maybe there's like all these reviews. We're not gonna discount all these reviews that came at the same time.
Yeah. That's very funny.
Yeah, but wow, that was a whole side tangent, because the whole point I was trying to make was that watching Breaking Bad, I still don't know what meth is. I still don't really understand what it is. It's just a bunch of chemicals, and it's supposed
to,
like
hard candy that you.
Yeah, well, you know what's funny in the show that they used like hard candy as like the meth, because the big thing of Breaking Bad is that Walter White's meth is blue instead of like glass like. And so, but I guess Bryan Cranston, who plays Walter White, he kept eating the hard candy on set. He's like, "Have you tried this stuff?" It's like good, and they're like, "Can you stop eating the stuff?" Like, but yeah, no, I know nothing about drugs. I don't know what heroin even is. I watched. You know, you're gonna say something.
I was gonna. It's like, isn't it? You know, disco.
I know people shoot it up. Like I know you melt it.
Isn't it just opium?
I guess.
I'm pretty
sure, you know, I was like 20-something years old when I learned that LSD and acid are the same thing. And like I knew people in high school that did acid, and I didn't know that they were the same thing. So, you know.
When I was younger, I thought acid like was like actually acid. Like, wouldn't that eat you from the inside out? Like, no wonder it's dangerous.
I don't know where they get these names from. I wonder if there's like a guy that's like the drug naming, the dedicated drug naming person.
If it is, then
because weed makes sense. It's a plant. I understand that.
If it is, then it's the narcs. It's the FBI lying to us.
Why is it called a narc when someone tattletale? Like when someone's like a
narcotics officer.
Oh, so it just became slang for anyone that was like a narc. Like
yeah. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Oh, okay. So it's because of narcotics officer. Because I was like, okay. Because a narc kind of sounds like... A narc is one of those words where it sounds like it should be worse than what it actually is. Like, if I'm calling someone a narc, I wouldn't call them... Like, it's not a tattletale to me. A narc is like a weirdo. I don't know.
I mean, that's...
If someone's a narc, I'm imagining, like, Sheldon Cooper from Big Bang Theory. Like,
sure.
That's a narc. I guess he kind of is.
I think it's more just, like, an undercover police officer that's doing a bad job. Of, like, hey kids, how you doing?
You know what? They nailed it. Actually, narc. If that's with that context, that I scratch that. Yeah, that's right. They nailed it with that one. You know what? Speaking of shows that are top 10, the majority of the top 10 episodes, you know what show it's from? You've seen it.
I've seen it.
Yeah, you've definitely seen it.
Pluribus?
No, it's you watch Pluribus? I didn't know that. Well, it's funny because you guessed that because you didn't even say it right. It's Pluribus. It's Attack on Titan.
Oh,
they have like 5 episodes in top 10. Like, I think it's the. Anyways,
it's good.
It's good. I think it's the highest rate. It's got to be the highest rated anime of all time. I don't know the deals behind that.
So it's beating like actual like live action shows.
Yeah.
And stuff?
Like, it doesn't have the highest rated episode, but I think it has the most episodes in the 9s. I think. I could double check that, but at least in the top 10, like 4 or 5 of them are Attack on Titan episodes. I'm trying to remember which episodes. When Captain Irvin does his speech and then Levi fights the Beast Titan. The episode where Eren, like him and Zeke are going, like in the last season, when him and Zeke are like looking at memories and like Eren talks to his dad. Goodness. So those are 2 of the episodes that are like in the top 10. I'm like, so geez, I get it. I get why it's in the top 10. Yeah. We had a plan at the beginning of this episode and we went through it, and now we kind of just went off the rails. I take a lot. Well, of blame
that was kind of the plan.
Yeah. I honestly, Parker, I thought I was going to read more of the article. I recited everything from memory and read one paragraph from the article itself. We're trying things out here. We have a TV screen behind the camera right now, and I was supposed to read the article off. And in between paragraphs, I was hoping we were going to have some back and forth, but I kind of jumped the gun and just
I was
recited
also
everything I knew.
I was just so not enthralled, captivated by the story.
Yeah. I mean, we're just a bunch of guys just winging it right now, you know? That's kind of what we do. It's kind of our thing.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think it's a good place.
Yeah,
to
I
end.
think that's a great place to end because I don't know what to talk about now.
No, this is just. Good.
But anyways, let us, you know, for anyone that's has any cool stories that you guys want us to talk about and read.
Well, maybe first, let us know what you think.
Yes.
About the bricks and minifigure thing, or if you have any additional information, because this is outgoing. By the time this releases, maybe new stuff has happened. So go to the comments. Let's talk about how messed up this is.
Yeah. And then find the GoFundMe for the Mansell family if you are inclined to donate to them. If we were like a really popular podcast, I would donate 100,000 right now.
Of course.
But we don't. We're not.
Yeah.
And that's your guys' fault. I'm just kidding. Watch and comment.
That's
Anyway.
bite the hands that feeds you.
Yeah, I'm just becoming bricks and minifigs at this point. Just getting canceled before we even take off. Anyways, love you all. Thank you guys for listening. And let us know if there's any topics you guys want us to talk about. Any last words?
Just
do heroin.
Don't do heroin.
Don't do meth.
And if your eyes are dilated, put on sunglasses.
Yeah, don't. Yeah.
Oh my.
Watch out for the American Fork Police.
Yeah.
Anyways, love you all. Bye.